Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be here and happy that you are also. So, you come home from a hard day's work and walk into the kitchen and walk into the house, and there are glasses everywhere and dishes everywhere, and you just lose it. Or your kid comes home with a report card that is not what you wanted it to be, and there's a disappointment and sometimes an argument that starts. Your 4-year-old opens up a present from his grandma and immediately melts down into tears. uh, and I can go on and on and on. Expectations were not met. And when expectations are not met, it often causes problems or issues. And this is a time of year that's going to bring up a lot of those feelings. We have this idea of how it should look, or what should be, not only this time of year, but always. And our expectations get so high that no matter what, there's disappointment and discontent. Brian Tracy, from his Maximum Achievement Strategies and Skills That Will Unlock Your Hidden Powers to Succeed, says that positive expectations are the mark of superior personality. And it's grand to have high expectations. Set high expectations for yourself and your kids and what you'd like to see. But here's the thing. Um, I'll go with what Jonathan Lockwood says. A wonderful gift may not be wrapped as you expect. Yeah, it's that gap between what we want or we want our kid to do or not to do, and the reality of what's happening at the moment. It what it should look like, and our expectations get so high that no matter what there's going to be, there's a lot of disappointment. This happens especially with kids and the season of gift giving and getting. So it may look like this. Your expectation is that they sit at the table, or that they don't fight with their siblings, or that they come and get ready for bed as soon as you call them. Um, and that's over here. And the reality is, it's over here, that they're getting up and wandering around. They're not sitting at the table. That they're hitting their siblings, or that they absolutely just ignore you when you call them. So, what do you do? Well, you have to have a clear understanding of the development and temperament, um, of your kid, each individual, and or your spouse or your significant other or whatever the situation is. The difference between what you want them to do and what they can do at any given moment. Uh, and it's in that gap where we often feel helpless, and we threaten or we bribe or we yell, and or we have a actual grown up tantrum, and especially when they're not listening. But there's more on that tomorrow on our webinar at 1 p.m. Please join us. It's might even where we question if it's possible for us to be a quote good parent. So how do you manage that? How do you manage it? First of all, you have to get really clear, as with anything. You have to get really, really clear on where you are now and what your expectations are. It could be in any given situation, and then make your expectations known before. This is for your kids. They enter in, they before anything is going on. Um, whether it be, when you get your gifts, you can open them and say thank you, and we'll discuss whether you like them or not later. Or, you know, um, we don't run around the supermarket. Or let's see, stay close to me. That was a mistake, because we speak in positives. Negatives are very hard for kids to follow. So, stay close to the cart in the supermarket, or hold my hand when we cross to the street. Yeah, you can let go of my hand now, but when we get to the corner, you have to hold my hand. I live in the city. Uh, when they understand and are explained ahead of time, they're less likely to, um, they're more likely to meet our expectations. Sometimes we have to adjust our expectations. It's not about us. It's not about them. It's about us. When your kid comes home with a report card that's not as great as you expected it to be, you know, there's something underlying there. It's not they're not doing it to us. So we have to figure that out. Sometimes you could explain the negative consequences of not meeting of what would happen if they didn't meet the expectation, and then they'll be kind of more informed as they get older. They'll be more informed about what you expect, and they'll make decisions about that. They'll have both sides of the story and be able to better make decisions about their behavior, if they're in that mode. Um, they also kids need to develop uh, an attitude of gratitude. Developing an attitude of gratitude will help us better manage our expectations. Delayed gratification. They don't have to get everything. That not everything is going to come to them immediately. This is so the real question is, are you willing to set new expectations? Can you be uncomfortable in the moment, replacing an old belief with a new one, and make your decision from the new place, not the old one? Training your brain and helping them train theirs, and giving them a chance to learn how to not only change the way they're thinking, but the process of changing the way they're thinking, um, and help them to, and you to kind of, um, up level, and go into the thought behind things, and not just the immediate situation. It's the opportunity. It's the opportunity for you to respond, instead of react. And when we have the ability to respond to a situation instead of, reacting to it, it's a more peaceful, less stressful world. And if we can give our kids that gift, that will help them throughout life. Um, that's it. Tomorrow, as I mentioned before, is the mini webinar. It will be less than an hour, on getting your child to listen. And I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of them made me laugh. Uh, and I hope to see you on the webinar. You do need to register for it. It is a Zoom webinar, and I look forward to seeing you all there. That's it for now. Ciao, ciao, and until next time.